Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the May 26th edition of Courtside with Coach Crist. I'm Greg Crist. That's Dave Gorby. We, first of all, want to apologize to all of our viewers for being late tonight. We had some unmitigated disasters at Darren's work today, so it got us off to a late start. And we are, instead of Pinheads or Arrowhead Bike Farm or wherever we might be, tonight we are coming to you from the Man Cave out on Gatewood Road. We're not going to tell you where that's at, but that's where we're at, and we appreciate you joining us. And Gorb's been out a couple of weeks, and I'm glad to have him back. And we typically do our show in a certain order. Tonight we're going to flip the order a little bit because we've asked some people to kind of wait on us, and they've been very patient with us. So we flipped the order a little bit. So what we're going to do, Dave, we're going to go straight to our special guest first.
Yep.
And last week we had a great guest. You missed it. We had Dale Wolfley on from WVU, former player and TV star, and he was awesome. He was fired up and spent about 45 minutes talking to us. It was way overtime last week, but that was a lot of fun. I think we have just a special guest this week, and she has been gracious enough to wait on us tonight and allow us to aggravate her late in the evening, and we do appreciate that. And, of course, we've advertised that it is Kim Stevens, the basketball coach at Glenville State University. And not only the basketball coach, Gorb, she is a national champion basketball coach. And I got to, you know how I always do a little background work on these people and look up, and her page is like, it would take half the show to read the page of the accolades and the things she's accomplished in her, really short time, really, not been at it that long. But this past season, Glenville finished up 35-1. She was named the WBCA National Coach of the Year in Division II, received the Pat Summit Trophy. She also received the Fafari Award, which is, of course, Mickey Fafari. The 2022 recipient of this award recognizes the College Coach of the Year in West Virginia. She also won this in 2019. And I'll tell you what. Of course, I'm an alum. I went to Glenville. I tell everybody.
You're hyped up right now.
I'm sporting my Glenville.
I see that too. I know that as soon as I see you.
As soon as you walk in, the only Glenville clothes I have is a Glenville football sweatshirt that I won in a golf tournament up there about 5 years ago. And that's the only Glenville stuff I had to put on tonight. So I put that on. But anyway, it fired me up. I watched them play, and I saw them live once, and I watched them on TV out in the tournament. And I'm going to tell you what. I told my youngest son, I said, after the first night of that tournament, I said, they're going to win it all. He said, you think? I'm like, they wear people down. And I said, by the fourth quarter, these teams can't even run up and down the floor. And I said, they're just shooting layups after that, And, man, it was exciting to watch, and I was thrilled. And I know, Coach Stevens, you were too. And, again, one more time, I do appreciate you being patient with us tonight, and I do appreciate you joining Courtside.
Hey, no problem. Thanks for having me.
Well,
no problem.
Congratulations on a great season. And I know my first question to you is, I got to ask you and just let you describe it for a few minutes. What's the last 3 months of your life been like?
They're back to now. I would say the week of the national tournament and the week following that, it was insane. That's the only way. Insane, but a good way.
Right.
But it was, we are beyond blessed for all of our accomplishments. Everyone in the state of West Virginia, Glenville, it's just been amazing love and support from everyone, and it's just been overwhelming.
Awesome. I know all the time I was at Glenville, the only parade we had was like Pioneer Days. We had a parade, and that was it. But I will say this, when we were at Glenville, of course, this was back in the mid-'80s. We had some good girls basketball teams back then. But our boys teams were good too. But you guys, I tell you what, it was just fun to watch you guys play. And I coached for about 25 years, coached some basketball, and I watched you guys play, and I kept thinking in my mind, is this, and I don't know that much obviously about you, but is this the style of basketball that you want to play regardless of your personnel, or is this kind of something that just evolved with the players that you had? This, the full court pressing, the substitutions, regular substitutions, and that sort of just wearing people down. Is that something that you have always believed that was the right way to do it, or did it just come about and evolve with the players you have?
I think the answer to that is kind of both. I mean, I always like to press. I always like to be aggressive. I always believe playing fast on offense, giving yourself an advantage. So those are principles that no matter what group of kids I have, we're always going to try to play without a back to the basket post player. we're always going to try to score quick, read and react, not a whole lot of like walking the ball up in sets. And then, of course, like some sort of press just to make people uncomfortable and not let them do what they practice.
Right.
I think this group, we were able to go so deep.
Yeah.
And we were able to sub 5 in and 5 out a lot of the time, do it every single time. There were some times we would lean on our big dogs, but we were just in every position. So it was kind of the perfect storm.
Yeah, and like I said, me and my youngest son were watching the tournament, and I told him, I said, when you sub, you really don't see a big difference.
Right.
I mean, they're all good. They were all the same. They were all good, And I thought, you could just see it. You could see the other teams wilting, and even in the championship game, I felt like by halfway through the third quarter, I thought, it's over. It's over. They can't keep up with them, And I just thought, you guys just, that style was just so effective, and you guys were really good at it. It wasn't like you were just out there, running up and down the floor, fouling and hacking and all that. You guys play pretty good defense, and I think, I don't think, just and listening and watching you guys throughout the season, I don't ever think you really got the credit for your defense like you should have. I thought, and the reason is you scored a bunch of points, but you scored a bunch of points because you're stealing the ball from them every time, So I just thought your defense really, I don't know if you call it underrated or not, but I know under-recognized because a lot of people didn't talk about your defense.
Yeah, no, I would agree with that. People look at defense as half court making low scoring games, and obviously our games are not going to be low scoring.
Right.
Obviously, we're not going to. People are going to get layups because you're going to take chances and you're going to go 50-50 balls and miss, and they'll score on the back end. But yeah, we led the country in turnover margin. We led the country in turnovers forced. Yep. And so I think when you ask other coaches what team has the worst defense to play against, it may be a different answer.
Right. Yeah, I would think you're right. So you're probably right, because I'm sure they had nightmares thinking about, how are we going to beat this? You are staying at Glenville, which we're all thrilled about. I talked to your athletic director. We had him on the show. Gosh, I don't know, what was that?
It was like just a couple weeks
after the tournament, and we had Mr. Skiles on, and we were talking about you, and we were talking about what we knew would be coming, and that is offers from other places to go and coach. And I don't know personally, but I'm guessing that you had a few offers, I would say, and you've chosen to stay at Glenville. And I would ask you this: other than and I don't know any details or anything, but other than money, whatever else you might get from this, what is it that makes you want to stay in Glenville? I know you went there and all that, and but what is it that keeps you in Glenville?
Yeah, I do think it is unique and nice to be at your alma mater. But I have a great basketball job. I have one of the best women's basketball jobs in the country. We can win championships here. I don't really want to do this at a level where I can't win championships and where we can't be in the conversation. But winning 15 games is considered a good year. That's not me. That's not what I want. I'm not chasing certain things. I want to be around kids. I want to have a good relationship with those players. I want to help get them better, and then I want to win as many championships as possible. And Glenville allows me to do that. Right.
And we're glad you're staying. That's awesome. Especially those of us who have a vested interest in Glenville, we're tickled to death that you're going to stay there, and we're thrilled about that. And I know from the time I was there, I know. Even the support back then was just phenomenal. I mean, we would go, a group of us guys, we would travel around and watch our teams play. And, we'd go to Salem or we'd go down to Tech or wherever. And they never had the crowds that we had at Glenville, and I mean, we supported them, and it was awesome. And I think in that small community, and it's a beautiful place. I mean, don't get me wrong, the scenery there is awesome, and the school's gotten nicer, so it is a nice place. And I'm tickled that you're staying. I think that it's not always about money or being in the bright lights, but you've got a good job there, and be honest with you, after this accomplishment, you might be able to stay there and just retire no matter what you do from here on out, man, because you're always going to be that national championship coach. So you've got that in your satchel to hang on to. You played at Glenville. I think you went to Parkersburg South. Is that correct?
Yes.
And you played at Glenville. Talk about your playing time there. I'm interested in that because I was reading some stuff about your playing days, and that was pretty impressive too.
Yeah, I don't know that I was the most impressive player. We did a conference championship our last But Glenville, I mean, even playing here as a player, it's always special. They've always valued women's basketball, which is unique. Not everywhere gets that. And so when we were up in the Lily, we were packing the place and we got to play in front of, the hometown and our and it hasn't really changed. So that's another thing that makes this job so special.
Right. Well, I want to go back to playing up in the other building just a little bit, because of course that's where they played when I was there. But I got a question to ask you about that. But anyway, back to these other questions first. I was thinking about this today too, and I thought, you've won a national championship now, and tomorrow you got to roll out of bed and you got to go hit that recruiting trail. Is it harder now, after you win this national championship, is it harder to motivate yourself to get up and go and get out on the recruiting trail, or do you find it a little bit easier?
That's a good question. The game has changed so much and players have changed so much that it's almost because, the team we had them for 4 years. We didn't have a lot of heavy recruiting. We just needed a couple pieces here or there. Right. And we're having to fill a whole roster now. It's eye-opening how much the landscape of basketball and college athletics recruiting-wise has changed in 4 years. I'm not a big fan of it, to be honest. But kids' values, where they want to go with the transfer portal is changing things. So it has not been as easy as I would have liked it to be. It's recruiting is really not my favorite thing to do.
Right. Yeah, it's got to be tough. And like I said, after you've won it all, I mean, it's like you're starting all over again. You lost all those seniors. Now you got to go out and hit this trail again. I would think that would be tough. I mean, even if you enjoyed the recruiting part of it, it still would have to be tough to motivate yourself to really get out there and get after it. Because a little bit of the pressure's off right now. But anyway, I'm sure you all are hard at it and going at it full steam. And you mentioned something I wanted to ask you about, and that is the transfer portal. I don't know in women's basketball how big of an impact that's had. I don't. Obviously, you don't see the news about it as much as you do when a big name guys player there. That's all over the news, but you don't hear that often about the women's players transferring around. How is the do you think the portal is going to affect like Glenville and a team like you had this year? You obviously had some players that could probably play anywhere in the country. I would think just watching them play. How do you think this NIL, this portal and transferring and all this is going to affect you guys?
I think it's going to crush Division twos.
Yeah.
I think it's just going to crush them. And that's just because if you can transfer Division I to Division I and not have to sit, why would you come Division II when you get a cost of attendance check and you get so much more money and you get the NILs and you get, why would you do it? Even if you didn't like basketball, you could go play on a team and get paid to be there. Right. And so as long as you're getting a one-time transfer, it's going to be pretty tough on Division twos to it's just going to be high school kids, but then high school, the landscape has shifted so much because even high school kids nowadays, the offers quickly. So it's just new. It's just kind of relearning.
Right. Yeah. And I've talked to numerous former Mountaineer football players here in the last 4 or 5 weeks. And one of the things we've talked about is how, the coaching staffs, and, there's got to be some adjustments. I mean, you got to figure this landscape out and figure out how to tackle it and how to approach it. And it's going to be tough. And I think, for schools like Glenville and even like WVU, I think it's going to be hard. Like you said, why would somebody, drop down from D1 to D2 if they can get all this money and all these other things? But what do you think the answer is? What do you think the solution? I mean, they've got to make some changes. I think that's become more evident as the weeks have gone on. Something's going to have to give. I mean, they're going to have to do something, or it's just going to be it's a total mess right now. I mean, it's just awful right now. And I don't know what the answer is.
Yeah, I don't know what the answer is either. I just know that I would say in like 3 or 4 years after this continues and nobody is graduating, I think somebody is going to have to step in. But you can't transfer that many times and graduate, and that's going to be the issue. I mean, that's going to be the deal breaker, I think. Yeah.
I think something has to change. I mean, there's just no way it can continue like this because, I mean, you got people just transferring every year to different places, and I said, I think in football, as far as football is concerned, on the Division I level, it's going to be tough for places like WVU and other places. But on basketball, and I've said this all along, I thought in Division I, I think parity is going to. I think there's going to be more parity because of it, but I also think that, like you said, Division II schools are going to suffer because of it, and I think it's going to be really hard on places like Glenville, and it's just going to be an adjustment for the coaches to figure out how to tread these waters.
Right. No, it's going to take a couple years for us to all kind of find our way.
Right. Yeah. Well, I think you can. I think you can handle it. You're young. You're smart. You're innovative. I think we got us alum got faith in you, so we know you're going to do it again for us. And we're really excited about it. So I know it's been a crazy couple of months for you, and I know we talked to Mr. Skiles, and he told us about all the things that was going on in Glenville. Pretty awesome stuff. The question I was going to ask you mentioned playing. I didn't know it was. Did you say at the Lilly Center? Is that what it was called?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I guess after Jess Lilly, who was the head coach when I was there. Yeah, Jess was the coach when I was there. And Bill, his son, played on the team. And we used to tease Bill because in his 4-year career at Glenville, he scored 1 point. He got in and made a foul shot one night. That's the only time he got to play. Then he went on to be a coach down at Radford, and he's assistant coach. Is he at Glenville now? I think he's back at Glenville, I believe.
Oh, here, yep.
Yeah, great guy. One of the best. Anyway, the question I had to ask you was this. Since you played in that gym, you know about that gym. Have you ever heard the statement heater beaters?
No.
No. All right. So we're in the gym. When you're on the bench and you're looking across the court and you look up kind of toward the windows over there, there's this big long row of heaters in there.
Okay.
Now, I guess that building's still there. I haven't been up there for a while, but I think it's still there. If you look at those heaters closely, you're going to see a bunch of dents in them. Because when we were up there, we were known throughout the conference as the heater beaters, because whenever people come in there to play, we cheered, we beat those heaters till you couldn't hear in that place, and we became known as the heater beaters. That's why I was asking you if you ever heard of that. So,
that's pretty good. I'm going to look.
Yeah, check those heaters out. They may have fixed them by now. I don't know if they were all dented up and banged up where we beat on them all the time. So, again, you're too young for that. So, I graduated from Glenville in 1984, if that tells you anything. You probably you weren't even born then. So, you don't have to say anything. It's okay. It's okay. All right, Coach Stevens, we do one more thing on here with all of our special guests. And we've had some big names. Nobody's as big as you, but we've had Brian Joswiak, we've had Joe Alexander, we've had John Flowers, we've had Kevin Jones, we've had Joe Mazzulla, we've had Major Harris. We've had all these people on the show. None of them have escaped this. So we have a little segment here we do that we call Shoot the Three. Comes from my basketball coaching background, of course, and I'm sure you understand as well. But what we do is we ask you 3 rapid-fire questions. And my co-host here, Mr. Gorby, is about 6'5", 275, big dude. If you don't answer the questions in a timely fashion, then he comes to Glenville and delivers some sort of punishment.
Okay.
Now, he usually don't deliver any punishment. He usually don't go anywhere unless there's a food or a beer involved. So we're just kidding about that part. And we don't have any rules, so we just kind of make them up as we go. But we ask you these questions, and we want to get your answers to them in 30 seconds or less. So if you're ready to play, we're ready to go.
Okay, let's do it.
All right, number 1. If they were going to make a movie about Kim Stevens' life, who would play the lead role?
I would love for it to be Sandra Bullock, just because I love her.
Oh, Sandra Bullock. Awesome. Awesome. You know, when we have women on the show, they have the answers are better. Right. I don't know if you weren't here. Now, I'm going to give away one of my questions, and you can't use this answer, but we had a female coach on about 2 or 3 weeks ago. One of the questions we asked her was about a body part she wanted to lose. She chose her butt. And I said, you can tell we have a woman on the show because she chose her butt. No man that we've asked that question has chosen his butt, but she did. So, and that's a woman thing. So, all right, here we go. If you could make a phone call, seeking advice from someone other than a family member from, say, 50 years or so back, who would you call and ask for advice, and what advice would you be seeking?
Oh, God.
And you got all night. Take your time. Don't feel any pressure.
Yeah, I mean, when you ruled out family, that really makes it rough.
All right, go ahead and use a family member. Like I said, we don't got no rules. It's okay. If you'd have said a name, I would have never known it was your family. You could have said it was my cousin's uncle.
Well, I was going to say, but I would say my mom. My mom is my go-to for advice
on
how to cook or how to deal with life.
Yeah, awesome. Mommies are always good for that, aren't they?
Yeah.
You know, my mom passed away last March, and I'm 60 years old. But trust me, I called my mom all the time and said, hey, what about this? What do you do about this? How do you make this? All the time. And now I even catch myself thinking, I need to call mom and ask her. So, yeah, your mom's always the go-to person. That's for sure. All right. Question number 3. You're doing good so far. You get to pick the way you die other than old age. How you going to go out?
Oh, I would like to either just die in my sleep or do something epic where I'm on the news.
Awesome. You could like get up on the Golden Gate Bridge and draw the news in. And
Yeah, okay.
that's not exactly what you had in mind, huh?
No.
Well, I always say that what I would do is hopefully I would either say something, which is not likely, or somebody else would say something or do something that was so funny that I started laughing and my heart just quit. All right, while I was laughing myself to death. So, all right, and it is shoot to 3. We only asked 3, but I got to ask you one more. All right. This is a shoot the 4 question. Question number 4. What's something that you're good at that you wish you weren't?
I'm very good at sarcastic comments, and sometimes that gets me in trouble.
I laugh at that because I get accused of that sometimes. Again, my wife's involved in those. You're so sarcastic. Yeah. Well, and I think that's an art. I think if you're good at that and you can be sarcastic and you think it's funny, it's okay. It's okay, Coach. I'll tell you what. This has been fun. I wish we could talk longer. We're so out of whack here tonight with our schedule. Yeah. It's all screwed up. But I just want to congratulate you again. I want to ask you too. As far as recruiting is going right now, how is it going? I know you got a lot of places to fill in. So how's things going?
Yeah, I really like the roster we have so far. We're up a couple pieces away, but we have some offers out. So hopefully we'll be finishing up here pretty soon, and then I'll be able to sleep at night. Well,
let me ask you this: as far as getting players, I would have to think that if you can walk in there and say, "Hey, we win national championships at Glenville," that has to help you in recruiting a little bit. Have you seen a difference in the way people look at you and listen to you?
Some, not as much as I would have thought, to be honest.
Really?
But,
really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought that would have been a great selling point. Hey, we win national championships. Go on.
Right.
Let's go win another one.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it gets people on the phone. I will say that. You get a lot more responses where you'd get crickets when you told people you were.
Right.
So it helps.
Right. Yeah, and as much as we love Glenville and like the place, it's not an easy place to recruit to. I mean, you got a beautiful facility to play in, and that's one advantage, and all those things have improved. But it is a little bit remote, and if I used to tell people if you didn't like to deer hunt or fish, then I don't know why you would go to Glenville. But and I didn't do either one, but I sure enjoyed my time up there. I think I don't really remember it, but I do think it was fun. So, and but anyway, it's been an honor to talk to you, and we look so forward to hopefully having you on again. I hope you'll come back and join us when things are a little bit normal and you get ready to kick off your next championship season.
Well, thank you guys very much. You've done a great job. Thanks for having me on.
Oh, it's been a pleasure, and we are so thankful to you for being patient with us and showing up tonight. We really do appreciate it. Good luck to you in the seasons coming up, and we'll be keeping an eye on you guys. And again, congratulations on a fantastic year.
All right, thank you. Have a good night.
All right, thank you, Coach.
Bye.
All right, bye-bye. Coach Kim Stevens from Glenville State, and I'm sure she was ready to get off the phone. She hung up. but yeah, she was very patient with us and waited, and I know she had other stuff going on, and it was awful nice of her to take the time to be with us. And I got a text here. My brother in Hawaii said, I'm just getting a 34-second playing of the intro music. So we were just waiting to get on. So you need to knock it off over in Maui, Hawaii. That's where Andy's at. So, all right, get us a quick break in here. When we come back, I think Muggy McLeod's calling in. We'll get Muggy on the phone here about the forecast and the traffic report and what's going on wherever he might be, which we don't know where that's at. And then we'll have Dr. Crist on, and Dr. Crist will have the floor tonight. We don't have to shut him off, so we might be here all night.
I might leave.
Could be tough. Yeah, what's to shut him off? I need one of them big hooks, just where I can reach into the phone and go.
There you go.
Pull him off the stage. All right, you're watching Courtside with Coach Chris. We appreciate you being patient with us tonight and joining us for the show. We look forward to the rest of the show, and we've really enjoyed taking time to talk to Coach Stevens. That's pretty interesting.
Yeah,
she does a great job up there, man. I'm telling you what. You watch her teams play.
Mm-hmm.
Whew, I mean, they just literally wear people down and beat them into the ground. I think they average like 98 points a game.
Wow.
But no, and everybody talked about the points they scored. Nobody talked about their defense. But they
That's
just
a big reason why they
Oh,
scored
yeah.
on you.
Yeah, they just full court pressure people and just hound them and just, they're
Right.
shooting layup after layup after layup, fun to watch, fun group to watch. All right, we also have our Athlete of the Week, Gorb, which we haven't mentioned tonight. Excuse me. We'll talk about that Athlete of the Week when we come back after Muggy gets off.
right,
All right.
good.
All right, let's get us a break in. We'll be back after these messages. Back to Courtside with Coach Crist. I'm Greg Crist. That's Dave Gorby. We are in the man cave out on Gatewood Road tonight. We're not going to tell you where. It's a secret hideout that we go to sometimes when we don't have any place else to go. And we're bringing the show to you here. We've had some difficulties getting everything set up and going. Running a little bit late tonight because of some other difficulties. But it's going to work out. We just got done talking to Glenville University head coach Kim Stevens. She was very gracious in waiting on us. And Gorb, I said she sounded just as pretty as she is.
Yep.
So she was a very good guest and very enlightening, and we'd like to get her back on sometime, talk to her some more about Glenville basketball. And let's go Pioneers. And right now, as we always do on the show, normally do it at the beginning, we're going to go out to Muggy McLeod, our one eye in the sky. Muggy McLeod, are you there?
Yes, Coach. Good evening.
Good evening.
This is Muggy McLeod, your one eye in the sky, NRN Chopper 1 traffic and weather report.
Your helicopter sounds a lot better tonight.
Yes, running on all two cylinders, I suppose.
Very good. Very good.
Yes, Coach. Well, there's that clump lady flagging us down again.
Oh, no.
I'm ignoring her. Keep flying, Ed. Pretend you don't see her.
Hey, Ed, your co-pilot.
Yeah, it's my co-pilot coming in here tonight, flying us high and at the speed of sound.
Yeah.
Coach, we are currently flying at 38.05 degrees north by 81.104 degrees northwest, which is over top of the greater Oak Hill, Fayetteville metropolitan area.
Awesome.
Traffic is slowed down around the Dairy Queen Grill and Chill for their foot-long. Excited about that?
Yes, sir. Can't hardly wait. Now, is that your co-pilot? Is that old Ed Shift Stick?
That is Ed Shifty Stick, indeed.
I thought it was. Yes. Yeah, we're familiar with that foot long. Yeah.
But yes, Coach. But if you go to the Dairy Queen, don't expect a price break. You just you just on the foot long hot dog. See,
Right.
that's where they, there is a special on the foot longs. So, but you don't necessarily get a price break. It's just because you don't see them. Quite frankly, you just don't see them that long anymore. And
Right.
with the current effects of inflation, I think they only measure out to be about 9.5 inches.
Right.
So, okay, moving on up to Route 19 toward the River Outfitter Company, where tonight's special is buy one Birkenstock sandal, get the other Birkenstock sandal free.
No, good deal.
Okay,
Can't beat
on to
that.
the weather report, brought to you by Posey's Mobile Pharmaceutical Corporation. The current weather in the area is rainy and crappy, with the forecast for this weekend remaining rainy and crappy.
That's pretty much the story of the times here in Oak Hill. Rainy and crappy.
It definitely is. And Coach, of course, it makes the perfect recipe for memorable graduation moments for years and years to come.
Absolutely.
Rainy and crappy.
Yes, rainy and crappy.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay, Coach, I know you've had some technical difficulties there. Me and Ed are going to put her down over here by the Southern X, and we're going to go in and find us a Dairy Queen footlong.
Yeah,
Anyway, Coach, this is Muggy McLeod, your one eye in the sky, NRN Chopper One Traffic and Weather Team, signing off. Happy rafting.
All right, Muggy. We'll be back with you later on. Thank you for joining us.
Adios.
Adios. So we'll say Muggy's helicopter's about ready to run out of gas. He better hurry up. All right, Muggy McLeod. Doing a good job, as always, up in the sky between Oak Hill and Fayetteville, talking about the good deals at the Dairy Queen.
Mm-hmm.
Can't beat that. And we'll hear from Muggy just about every week, I guess, Gorb, as we move on through the show. But typically what we do now, we usually have Muggy on. We talk a little bit about some stuff that's been going on in the area. Then we go to a break. We come back with our athlete of the week. Had to change up our schedule just a little bit tonight. So we had Coach Stevens on first, now Muggy McLeod. Now we talk a little bit about what's been going on. You've been down to state track meet,
Yeah,
and that's been adventurous.
like I tell you, it's been a while since this show's been a few weeks. Actually,
Tappett's been lobbying for your job. I'll just tell you, he's throwing out some bribes and everything else.
telling you, and he did. He did good. I mean,
He does a good job.
Yeah, I
Yeah, he
know.
did.
And but yeah, just like football and basketball, man. Try. It was good, but man, it took time. It takes time, and well, people were like, "Well, you got a break now." Well, no. Summer practice, our flex days, 3-week window.
Yeah, it's here.
Starts week after next.
Yeah,
So,
unbelievable. You just go right in from one to the other.
Right.
That's what I've
And-
tried to explain to people about coaching multiple sports. It ain't easy. It ain't easy.
Yeah, especially nowadays where it just seems like athletes just train year round.
Year round. Yeah.
That's the
Yep.
that's the thing about it. But it was good. AAA track is ridiculous. Kid ran a 10.5 and 100. The distance kid from University Edwards, he signed with Oregon. He had unbelievable talent. I think kid from Morgantown did 15 feet in the pole vault.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean it was
Unheard of.
It was pretty good competition. The 2 days they split them up. They instead of having all three together, they go evening morning. One division. Next, they come in that evening, and then go morning, and then bring in the next division that evening and morning. So it rolled pretty smoothly. But yeah, we took a few kids down, and they did good. I mean, they did good on their PRs, but man, it was tough. It was definitely tough.
Like you and I were talking on well here, it's a different world.
Right, and but Now I got to try to think how am I going to get my golf game going? I'm about 8 weeks behind on that right now.
I'll be honest with you. I was talking about this today to somebody. I said I used to hunt and fish and do all these things. When I started coaching, it all came to an end. I don't fish or hunt now at all. I used to do it all the time.
I'm trying. I'm going to play in a couple I'm not going to play in any individual tournaments June at all, and usually I play in like a couple, but because I just know my game, my game ain't there. I'm gonna play in a couple four man scrambles, which those are fun,
right.
But I don't like. get my game.
Yeah, don't help
not
your golf
to,
game.
yeah. They're just out there having a good time.
Right.
But I'm going to try to push in these 4 or 5 weeks to get my game ready for July. So
Yeah, that's
we'll
tough
see.
when you
We'll
don't get to
see.
play. You know how your
Yeah,
game goes downhill,
and,
man.
and then I'll stop playing about the second weekend in August is when I'll
Football.
stop.
Yeah.
I'll stop playing then.
It
so.
does. People don't realize what amount of time is involved. I know by the time I quit coaching, it was year round. I mean, you went.
Yeah.
And I told my same guy I was talking to today about hunting and stuff. I said one of the reasons I ended up quitting was I enjoyed the summer stuff a whole lot more than I enjoyed the regular season.
Yeah.
I really did. I enjoyed the summer leagues, the summer camps, and all that more than I did actual games and all that. You know, because you'd practice 3 days for 2 hours a day, and then you'd have a game that lasted an hour and 15 minutes. You know, and there was a lot of pressure, a lot of you know, it was just tough. You know, so I enjoyed the summer times much more than I did enjoyed the regular season. Midland Trail, they made the state tournament in softball.
Right. Yep.
They bowed out fairly early. They got beat the first 2 games, but good season for them. And they were competitive in those games out at Charleston. But so they're finished up now. Track's finished up. I guess everybody's pretty well done for the season, aren't they?
Yeah, we got baseball going, but I think all the
Now our locals are out.
All the local teams
Yep.
are out. I know. Bluefield and Shady.
Right.
That's about as local as we can get right now.
Yep.
But yeah, everybody else has been eliminated. So that's the
We'll have to go digging around in AAU and Little League Baseball and everything else for our athletes of the week.
I was telling Darren, just going with these flex days here in June, we're getting ready to have a little weightlifting competition there next week at Boss Mentality. It's going to be a little fundraiser for football, and we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, it'll be cool. Yeah. Oh, there'll be plenty of stuff going on where we can drum up some athletes of the week, I'm sure. But anyway, our athlete of the week last week was a guy by the name of Jake Rochelle, I believe is the way we pronounce his name, from Greenbrier East, and baseball, who had a good outing. And we had Josie Irvin again the week before that. She had another great game in softball. This week, I picked this one myself, Gorb.
Okay.
And I had some nominees, and I had some people to choose from, but this one popped up to me, and I thought this would be a cool thing, and very well deserving. And you're familiar with this guy, like all of us in the area are. His name is Stephen Bragg. Stephen went and competed in the Special Olympics, and Stephen came out with 3 golds and a silver. That's a Special Olympics. No, he does a good job, and he made sure he messaged me and let me know about it. He don't know that I picked him as athlete of the week, but I'm going to let him know. I know he'll be thrilled about that.
Right.
So that's a cool thing, and Stephen does that every year. Has done it for years.
Right.
He was doing it when I was at Mount Hope, and performs in the Winter Olympics and the Summer Olympics. And this time he, like I said, he got 3 golds and a silver, and pretty fired up about that. So he was sending me messages. So congratulations to Stephen. Stephen will get, of course, a certificate from Geno's. He'll get coupons for pizzas and biscuits from Tudors. And, like I always say, he gets his name here on Courtside, spread out to millions of people all over the world, and he'll change his life forever. We know that's not going to happen, but we say it anyway. So that does it for our athlete of the week, and also catching up on what's going on around the area. Again, we're out of sports pretty much, and we'll have to do some digging now to find out some good stuff to talk about. But we'll get there. We'll manage. We're going to take a quick break here. When we come back, we're going to talk to Dr. Crist. He's been talking about some baseball stuff here over the last few weeks. Been very interesting. Some of the things that you think may never happen in baseball, and he told us how many times it had happened, which was shocking, like inside the park home runs, inside the park grand slams. All those things it's unbelievable how many times those things had happened. He's going to talk a little bit more about that stuff tonight. He told us to bring pen and paper, so we got to be ready. I don't know if he's got some kind of quiz lined up for us or what he's got going on, but Dr. Crist will be fun as always. And he'll wrap up our show tonight, I guess, since we kind of got out of order. We usually...
So we got to take a test. Well, you don't know. I was going to say we got to take a test, and he's out in Hawaii.
Maui still. You remember the last time you was on the show? He was in Maui.
He just got out there. Now he's still there.
It's the first time you've been on in 3 weeks, and last time we talked to you, he was in Maui. He's still in Maui. So I say you got that.
telling you,
Hey, you got that DR in front of your name, man. You get to do a lot of stuff
right.
most of us don't ever get to do. So, all right, let's take a quick break. When we come back, we'll be ringing up Dr. Crist here in just a little bit. So I hope you'll stay with us for that. You're watching Courtside with Coach Crist here on the New River Network. We appreciate you watching, and as always, we are thankful for the guests that we have and the viewers that we have, and we always want to say thank you to those folks. That's what keeps us going. Certainly isn't the money, that's for sure. So, all right, let's get us a break in. When we come back, we'll get Dr. Crist on the horn, talk a little more baseball with him. I'm Greg Crist. That's Dave Gorby. We'll be back. welcome back to Courtside with Coach Crist. I'm Greg Crist. That's Dave Gorby back in the fold. Gorb been out for a few weeks, but he's back now. And
Shake that rust off.
That's right. That's what I told him to Tappett's vying for his job. Gorb, we got an audience caller here, right on cue. Courtside with Coach Crist. Who am I talking to?
Good evening, Coach.
Hey.
This is Richard Skinner, and I'm
Hey.
a first-time caller and old-school baller.
Oh, first time caller, old school baller. I hear you. Here's your sound effects and bang with the cymbals. What's up, Richard? Principal Richard
Wow.
Skinner is what we call him.
Yes, sir. I don't know, Coach. I heard your Muggy McLeod earlier talking about that footlong. It kind of made me hungry.
Yeah.
Anyway, I used to coach before I became a principal,
Uh-huh.
and I just wanted to tell you it was a grueling experience, and I came to appreciate the work and dedication it takes, especially with men's synchronized swimming teams that I coached.
Right.
So over the years, it just wore me out. I almost drowned several times from going under the water on so long and grinding days of instruction. And, you know, it's hard to blow a whistle under the water, Coach. Did you know that?
I've never tried that before.
Yeah. So I guess the nature of my call really tonight is to number one, embarrass Gorby.
Well,
Yes.
yeah. That seems to be the guest callers. That's usually what they do.
Well, I got to keep up tradition.
That's
Coach.
right.
So, you know, Gorby was on my first synchronized swimming team, if you didn't know that.
Yes, I do that. Yes.
He was so cute, Coach. He was my little Aquaman,
Yeah.
my little submarine, and my little Captain Jack Sparrow with that neck beard. He ran around all the time going, "Where's me parrot?" It was so cute. It was just so
He's a cute guy. I'll have to give him that. He's a
Yes, he
good-looking guy.
So the number two reason is to commiserate all this week's past and then the upcoming graduations around the area.
Right. And before you go on, we want to tell people, you know, you're Richard Skinner. Of course, Seymour Skinner is the principal that we see on TV all the time. You happen to be Seymour's fourth cousin once removed, I think.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So that's where I guess where your name comes from, Richard Skinner.
I would think that's probably where it comes from, Coach.
All right, go ahead. Didn't mean to interrupt.
It's just hard to get your head wrapped around it.
Yes, it is.
Yes. So, you know, being a former principal and all, I get excited this time of year, not about graduation, just because I get excited.
I heard that.
Anyway, I know your son Sammy, your nephew Nick, they graduated last week.
Yeah.
Nephew Saul graduates tomorrow.
All right.
You know, we're going to have all these empty nesters, and right about the time that we're too old to even enjoy it anymore.
Right,
And
yeah.
just run around the house naked. None of that. You just you're just too old to enjoy it.
Right.
So anyway,
Right.
but since this is a sports show and you don't want to brag on the young men in your life, especially Sammy, just let me say, you know, some big news coming up, and I'm not going to spoil it about his future plans. And you know, your nephew Saul, he signed to play college golf with his older brother at U Pike.
Right.
And you know, your buddy John Sanders, son Jackson, signed to play basketball at Salem.
Up at Salem. Right. Can I tell you a story? Can I tell you a quick story about Salem?
Well, it's your show, Coach. You say all you want.
All right. Well, when I was at Glenville, they had a tournament up there. They called it the something mansion tournament. I don't remember what mansion it was, but they had the something mansion tournament in Salem. So me and a couple of college buddies, we decided we're going to go up to Salem and watch Glenville play. We went to a little establishment there prior to the game, bar, grill, whatever you want to call it. And there was this new TV station on. Gorbis tells you how old I am. There was a new TV station on, and they were showing kickboxing. We thought that was the most awesome thing ever. Guess what the station was?
WT.
ESPN.
The what?
ESPN.
Gorby said, what would you say?
I said WDTV.
Yeah, that probably hadn't even started yet. We were watching ESPN. It was the first thing I ever saw on ESPN. And I was sitting in a bar in Salem, West Virginia.
True.
How about that?
There you They used to show a lot of Australian rules football, Coach.
Right, right. Back then, all they showed was kickboxing. Which I
Ah,
don't even know what that was. I guess it was a scaled down version of MMA or something. I don't know. They just kicked each other all the time.
right.
Right. Anyway, I'm sorry I interrupt you with that story.
Okay. Well, you interrupted my story because my story had like a purpose and an end to it. And
Right.
let me go back a little so I can, tune your audience back into where I was jiving with this story.
Good.
So, we got you got all your nephews and friends graduating, and they're all going to, probably play sports or next step. And so, that's awesome and all. But I got to say it, Coach, I know all you parents of these guys, and, you're all kind of a little chubby. So,
Wow.
there must have been one busy milkman running around about 18 years ago, because you all ain't those babies' pappies.
I used to always say, I hope the Ups man had some basketball skills. All I was hoping for, because Sammy didn't come from these genes, that's for sure.
Okay.
Right.
All right. So, enough messing around, because, it's on to number 3. And I love me some Boys of Summer. And apparently Dr. Crist does too, because that's pretty much all he talks about anymore is baseball.
Baseball. He loves some baseball.
Yeah. So I don't really have a question for Dr. Crist. I just want him to enlighten me with some of his baseball genius. Okay.
Yeah, he'll probably do that. I think he's going to talk more baseball tonight. That's the plan. And he instructed me to bring pencil and paper because he had a little work for me and Gorby to do. So we're a little bit hesitant about that. We don't really know what to expect, but we're ready.
Right. Just make sure, he's not testing your IQ or your,
He can test my IQ if he wants to, because I got an IQ.
Mm-hmm. About what?
I don't know what it is, but I got one. So you got a house full of company tonight, or what? I heard a lot of noise in the background.
Right. I got my own little studio audience here too, Coach.
Right.
You're not the only famous one around.
Well, let's recognize them. Who are they?
Well, we've got my other brother from another mother, Ed.
Ed, I think Ed was supposed to be flying a helicopter tonight, but I guess he got sidetracked and ended up in St. Clairsville or Bridgeport.
Right. I'm just glad he didn't crash into a subway, go down on a subway footlong. Anyway, and we've got Mr. Pawpaw Dude over here.
Pawpaw Dude.
Hanging out. Right.
Sometimes referred to as Whispering Lou. We like him.
Whispering Lou. That's right.
Right.
And, the house is full, but we're out here outside, just hanging out, entertaining the neighbors. They're kind of old and grouchy, and their names are Ken and Karen, and then the neighbor over here is Ken and Karen. And, they've probably all been in bed for quite a while.
Right. Now, do you have anybody up there by the name of Joey?
Hey, we got Uncle Joey in the house. He kind of took a little nap this evening, and he proceeded to inhale my hat from across the room.
I saw him sleeping. Yeah, I got a picture of that.
Right.
Now, how about Payne? Is she there?
Oh, yeah. She's cooking and getting ready for our other company to arrive tomorrow.
Yeah, that's old Payne Skinner.
Yeah, Payne Skinner. Right. Anyway,
right,
Coach, it's getting close to my bedtime, and me and Posey, we're gonna go ride around on his bicycle. I'll be the one on the front handlebar, sitting there, giggling.
You gonna have a tutu on?
No, I'll just be facing the wrong way. All right, Coach, we love you. We gotta go.
All right, Richard, it's been nice talking to you.
Right, it's been kind of nice talking to you. Ciao, Bella.
Yeah, you stay tuned so you can hear Dr. Chris talk some baseball.
Yeah, right.
All right, Richard. We appreciate you, buddy.
Night, Gorby.
Tell all them guests you said hey, and Gorby said good night.
Hey.
All right, goodbye.
Bye.
All right, old Richard Skinner calling in. I don't know what that call was even about. I'm a little confused, Gorby. That didn't have anything to do with anything, did it?
What he's saying.
You didn't even listen to him, did you?
No.
You've learned to block out our audience callers, pretty much, I guess. All right, we got Dr. Chris waiting on us out there in Maui, Hawaii. The good thing about that, Gorb, is there's like a 6.5 hour time difference.
Right.
So right now, what time is it here? It's
he's about mid-afternoon.
He's in the middle of the day out there now. It's 3 o'clock out there, 3:40, 240, whatever it is. I don't even know. But so he's wide awake and raring to go, and he's got some good baseball stuff for us. So we're going to talk to him about that. That'll be fun. Okay. He's been giving some good stuff. You didn't get to see the shows the last couple of weeks. You need to go back and watch them, listen to him. And I know sometimes it gets a little long-winded, but he had some really neat stuff on there about some baseball things. You know, the height of the seams. I think he talked about that one night. The next week he was talking about things that you think would have happened a lot, but didn't happen very often.
Okay.
Then he talked about things that you think didn't happen very often that happened a lot. So that was pretty cool, too. So I'm not sure what all he's talking about tonight, but he did tell us bring pen and paper, so I'm looking forward to finding out.
Okay.
Should be fun.
All right.
All right, let's get this break in. We come back. We'll have a house call with Dr. Crist coming up. Stay with us, everybody. Welcome back to Courtside with Coach Crist. It's Greg Crist, and that is Dave Gorby. We're coming to you from the Man Cave in Gatewood Road. We're going to call it the Gat Cave, Gatway Road. And we're not telling you where that's at, but that's where we're at. And we had to set up here tonight. We had some some logistical nightmares that hit us about 6:30 today, and we've had trouble getting the show going. And I think we're not really on air right now, but we're going to record, go back later and put it on. We've had some difficulties that we will get ironed out, I'm sure, in the near future. And we've had some great guests tonight. We've talked to head coach Kim Stevens from Glenville State University, the national championship women's coach at Glenville, the D2 national champions, which we're excited about. Right. And, I was going to say to her, I have my sister was an alumni, whatever you call them, from Glenville. Me and her graduated from Glenville at the same time. Then 2 other brothers graduated from WVU. And I was going to say, they made fun of us for going to Glenville, but we got the national title. Then I thought, well, Dr. Crist went to Alabama, I think. Didn't you go to Alabama for a while?
I did go to Alabama for a while, yes.
Yeah, they won a title or two, so I couldn't say anything. I couldn't blow that one out there.
We're not going to talk about Nick and Jimbo.
Yeah, Nick and Jimbo. Yeah, they got a big feud going on right now, don't they? Wow. Yeah, I figure we're going to see more of these feuds about this NIL stuff before it's over with, because you're buying players. Well, okay, you're buying players too, and you've been buying them for 20 years. Yeah, well. So, yeah, that's why I heard somebody say the other day, well, they're doing the same things they've always done. Now it's just out in the wide open, so everybody can see it now, But I like to talk to these college people about that NIL and what they think is going to happen and how it affects them. Now, she had an interesting take on it. She's the first one that said outright, it's going to crush Division II basketball. She just come around and said it.
Right.
And she's right. Mm-hmm. It's going to be hard. And like where Sydney's at, for example, University of Pikeville and NAIA, it's going to be hard on these people because they get to D1, the transfers, the ones that drop down, transfer down so they can play immediately and all that.
Right.
They can go wherever you want to go, play wherever you want to play, and get paid for it and all that. So, yeah, it's going to be tough on these D2 schools and NAIA schools. I think it's going to be rough on them. Anyway, enough depressing news. We've had enough depressing news already. So let's move on to something more fun. And we have with us somebody that's always fun and always interesting, Dr. Crist with us. And Gorby, the last time you were here was when we were at the Starlight Drive-In.
Correct.
And that was Dr. Crist's first week in Maui. Here it is 3 weeks later, and guess where Dr. Crist is?
Did you get like an invite as a brother? No.
I don't think so, no. Not that I recall.
I'm telling you.
He's still in Maui.
How big of a Christmas gift do you get from his brother?
Well,
a phone call.
About the same I get paid to do this show.
Right? Yeah. It all equals out. Yeah.
Yeah.
All equals out to about the same amount.
Yeah.
Zero.
Right. Yep. Mm-hmm.
But he did. I will say this: we did go to Maui one time, and he took all of us, our brothers, and we flew out, and he took care of the. He had these. What do you call it? Frequent flyer miles. Mm-hmm. So we got to fly first class all the way out there, first class back. We spent time in the gold rooms and eating and drinking, and we had a blast. It was one of the most memorable times of my life. I'll say that. So he has taken me before, so it's not like I haven't been out there.
Okay.
So yeah. Anyway, all right, Dr. Crist, we are with you, and we're excited to hear what you got to talk about this week.
All right. Okay. Sounds good. Well, first of all, I do want to talk about some good news. And as you know, last week I personally declared this Limerick Month. So I've got a couple of limericks I'm going to start off with.
All right.
And the first one is to honor my youngest daughter, Amanda.
Okay.
Who just received a certification for documentary filmmaking in New York City. And her film that she made is premiering tonight. So unfortunately, I'm not going to be there, but she's showing her film tonight. So I wrote a limerick to honor her.
Okay, let me interrupt just a second, and I'll tell Gorb. Gorb, these are Dr. Crist kids, and they are sharp. They're some smart kids, man. And, I got Sydney. I love him, but, I hope he's watching. And Sammy. And Ed has Jared and Jordan. And, Brian's got Brock and Saul. And his kids are making movies and films and writing poetry. And, But anyway. All right. Go ahead.
All right. You know what? I'm going to have to write one for Cindy and Sammy now.
I think I'm probably going to have to, too.
Yeah.
Just to reinforce the fact that I do love them and I'm very proud of them.
Okay, so let me give you this one. So when your youngest leaves home and begins to pay rent, parents feel sadness and sorrowful lament. But when her movie plays tonight, proud parents watch filled with delight as she tells a beautiful story that her film will document.
Oh,
So
nice.
that
nice.
that is my
Yeah, that's awesome. So how I mean, I know how do you watch it? Is there any way to
Well,
after she does it?
she's going to let us know. We thought it might be streaming, but I don't think it is. But I think she's going to be able to either send us a copy or maybe post a copy on Facebook, possibly.
Cool.
We'll find out and let you know.
Awesome.
But she's been up there for almost a year,
Awesome.
and
They're so smart,
she'll be
man.
I mean,
she'll be finishing. She'll be working on a master's degree, an MFA in film studies, and so she has another year and a half, year and a half.
I'll tell you this too, Gord. I have a book at my house that his son, one of his other kids, his son wrote. Just to tell you how things are. We have a neat little book that he wrote. It was really cool. So anyway, all right, go ahead.
Okay.
I do
All right,
love
so
Sydney and Sammy. I'm proud of them. They're good kids and they're smart.
Yeah,
So,
and they'll be writing a book soon.
oh
I'm
yeah,
sure.
yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah.
You talk about that. I joke about that, of course. Sydney's very smart. Sammy's very smart.
Yeah.
But Ed's our oldest brother's kids. I know one of them scored a perfect score on the ACT. He was a presidential scholar. He's very smart. The other one that he has is very smart. My sister has a son that I don't know if he has a master's degree now or not, but very intelligent. So it just it's just kind of filtered through. Andy, Dr. Crist. I don't know if he's been sneaking around or what, but anyway, that's what I always said about our family. You got Dr. Crist, who is a clinical psychologist and has a PhD. You have Brian, who has a master's in something. I don't even know what it is. You have Robin, who has a master's, was a principal. My oldest brother, Ed, worked for UPS for 37 years, made a small fortune. And then you have me, and I'm like, I'm the black sheep, so I wasn't supposed to excel. I did pretty good for what I had to work with, which wasn't much.
But
So.
you have a college degree too.
That's right.
So there's every college degree. Not everybody has one.
Right, that's right.
have your own
And
show too, Coach.
I got my own show, and I've got
Yeah.
a national championship in my belt. So there you go. Let's go Pioneers. All right, go ahead.
Yeah. Okay. Well, all right. So I want to ask you a couple questions here, and I thought this might be interesting because last week we talked about really rare events in baseball.
Right. Yep.
And I mentioned there are other things that happen in baseball that maybe happen at a frequency you wouldn't necessarily expect. So what I thought I'd do is I'm going to throw out a few things. I want you to write them down, and I want to see if you can guess which of these things has occurred the most frequently down to the least frequently.
All right.
Okay. All right. So in no particular order, I'm going to throw them out.
All right.
All right.
All right.
So let's start with immaculate innings. Do you know what an immaculate inning is? That's when.
I know what the immaculate reception was.
So an immaculate inning is when a pitcher strikes out 3 batters on 9 pitches.
3 Ks on 9 pitches.
Yeah. So the number of times that's happened.
All right.
The number of no-hitters. The number of inside the park grand slam homers. All right.
Hold on a minute. Inside the park,
All right.
grand slams.
All right. The number of times that pitchers have thrown 4 strikeouts in an inning. So that's they throw a strikeout, and the pitcher drops the ball, makes it, so they get another. So the number of times that's happened. What else? Oh, here's a good one. The number of times that a runner in a single plate appearance stole second, third, and home. Okay.
Yep. Second, third, and home.
Yep. Hit for cycle.
Mm-hmm.
The number of triple plays in Major League history, and the number of times that a player hit a home run on his very first pitch in the major leagues.
Hit on very first pitch.
Yeah, the very first pitch thrown to him in the major league. So of all those things, I think there's 7 or 8 of them there.
Yep.
Which
8.
do you think happened the most frequently?
One that's happened the
6,
most.
7, 8. Okay.
Yeah, there's 8 things. All right, things that have happened the most.
Things that happen the most.
I'm going to say. So now, are we going to write them down in the order we think they happened, or you want to do them one at a time?
Yeah, do it one at a time. Just tell me what you think.
All right. I think what's happened the most has been triple plays.
Okay. What do you think, Gorby?
I was going to say hit for the cycle.
Okay. So it's triple plays. You're right.
Coach, right there you
Ching,
go.
ching, ching, ching.
Right there you
Triple
go.
plays, and in fact there have been. Now this is interesting because these statistics go back almost 150 years.
Wow, yeah.
Okay, in the mid 1870s. All right,
Wow.
and so the number of triple plays in Major League history is 728.
Wow. 728.
So so that means in 150 years, how many is that? It's like less than 5 a
Right.
year.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, there ain't very many.
Right.
Less than 5 a year. And of that list, it is more than twice as many as the next one on the list.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
All
So what do you think the next
So we're
one
looking-
is?
All right, number 2.
Yeah.
Let's see.
So we're looking
I am
like-
going to say number 2 is going to be no hitters.
All right.
I mean, that's a pretty good guess right there. So this is you're saying this is this has happened 360 times.
Right.
Basically.
Yeah, less than 360 actually. Yes.
I mean, man, you don't think that? I would say no hitter or hit for the cycle. I would.
You can
say.
only pick one, dude.
No hitter.
All right, no hitter. We're both going no hitters.
Let's hit for the cycle.
So hit for the
There
cycle
you go,
was
Coach.
number
You
2.
talked me out of it.
Hey, yes, I did. I should have let you have it, shouldn't I? All right, so number 2 is hit for the cycle.
Yeah, it's 335 times that's happened.
Wow. 3.
Only 335. Again, in 150 years.
But so
you're-
you think, I mean, hitting for the cycle.
Okay, so
is,
how many games were? How many teams are there? 30?
Shit, I don't know.
Yes,
162
30 teams.
games.
Play like 1,000 games a year. I don't know.
2,500.
Yeah, like 2,400 games a year.
Boom, God.
Yeah.
That's
4,800 if you
games.
count each team. Yeah, it's a lot of games. And so hitting for the cycle is actually one of the rarest things that happens. But think about it though, we hear about that, right? It's
Right.
not like, and just like triple plays, I can see you saying either one of those because you hear about a triple play occasionally, but it would have never occurred to me that there are twice as many triple plays as there are hit for a cycle.
No, I wouldn't either. I never thought that. And I
thought
think
that.
about hitting for the cycle. That's quite a feat. That's a single,
Right. Yeah,
double, triple,
exactly.
home run in one
Exactly.
game. And for
Yes,
that to have
yes.
happened 335 times, I find that amazing.
like you probably could hit multiple home runs more than
Yeah.
Yeah, and I hear,
Cycle.
and I think reason I pick no hitters. You hear about no hitters every year.
Well, that
Yes.
ain't a perfect game. That's a no hit.
Yes.
No hitter, right, right.
That's right.
And you hear about those every year, so you think,
Yep, right.
That's been happening for a while, but I guess not.
And that's right. And here's the other interesting thing I found out about hitting for a cycle is that it's never happened where two players hit for a cycle in the same game. That's never happened.
Never happened. Wow.
Never happened. In
You'd have
fact,
thought that
there's
would
only-
have happened at least once.
Yes, there's only 2 times that 2 players hit for the cycle on the same day, but it wasn't in the same game. Yeah.
Wow.
So yeah.
What year was that?
All right. So what do you think is third?
I'm gonna stick with no hitters.
No hitter.
Yeah, no hitters. That's right. Only
right.
316. And you would have thought. I would have thought there would be more than
Yeah,
that.
that's what I'm saying. I would have thought. That's why I picked it number 2 because I would have thought
Here.
there'd been a bunch
Yeah.
more then.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
cool.
Twice a year, on average, 2 a year.
Wow. And I can remember I've seen years where there have been like on Monday night somebody would pitch one, and then on Wednesday night somebody pitch another one. It seemed like it'd
Yeah.
go like in twos. You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
But they're only 1 or 2 a year, which I find
Right.
that's surprising.
That's right. Well, I think too. This is one of the things I wanted to bring up. It also reflects how the game has changed,
Yeah.
right?
Right.
And I think no hitters are probably, I would guess, more common
Right.
because of the power pitching.
Yeah. Yeah.
Everybody trying to hit a home run every time. So.
Right. Right. Yeah. 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 It makes sense.
All right. So what do you think is next?
All right. I got to put my glasses on because I can't read my writing here. All right. So we got.
I'm going to say 4 Ks in an inning.
All right. I'm going to say first time at bat home runs.
All right. It is inside the park grand slam.
Wow.
And I almost picked that one because last week you said there had been
That's right.
200 and some.
223.
Yeah, 243. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
And
that
again,
one's number
that's a change in the game because
Yeah.
we don't hear of inside the park home runs much,
Right.
much
Yeah.
less inside the park grand slams. But in the past, it was more common. The fields,
Right.
the outfields were bigger. The players weren't as fast, you know.
Right.
So the ball could roll forever, and so it was actually pretty common.
Yeah.
Although only one time has somebody hit 2 inside the park home runs in the same game, the same player. That's only happened one time. I found out something interesting too. That what's his name? Prince Fielder, who's a pretty big guy.
Yeah.
He played for Minnesota. He hit one that got stuck in the speaker in the Metrodome, and he got an inside the park home run. So he is officially the heaviest player to ever hit an inside the park.
I was going to say
260 pounds.
I was going to say if I ever got an inside the park home run, the ball would have to be lodged into the tarp or something and then pull it out
That's right.
in the ivy at Wrigley Field. That's hilarious.
I thought that was pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah, it's hilarious. All right. Which we're at? We're number 5. Let's see what we got left. We got immaculate inning.
You got your
We
first.
got-
You got your first. You just said that.
Yeah, the
I'm,
first
I'm,
pitch.
I'm going with 4 Ks.
4 strikeouts, stealing second, third, and home.
All right, I'm sticking with first pitch home runs.
Okay. And what are you going with, Gorby?
4 Ks.
4
strikeouts.
Ks. All right. Yeah, it's 4 strikeouts in an inning.
Good job.
Yeah,
Jordan.
that has happened.
Yeah. I should have had another one, but
112 times.
Blame me.
Well, I mean,
All right, so that's
go
number
back
5.
and review it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll have to go back and look at the replay on that and see if I really talked you out of it or not. I'm sticking with first pitch home runs on the next one, too. I'm going to get it in there yet. There are only 2 left or 3. How many
3.
left?
There's 3.
3 left. Mm-hmm. All right, what we got? We got immaculate inning.
The first pitch is still second, third, and home.
Yeah, so second, third, and home.
And then the
first pitch
3
home
Ks on 9 pitches.
All right, I'm sticking with first pitch home runs. That's got to be number 6. Where you going with?
I don't like. I don't know.
I ain't
What that,
trying- I ain't
I don't know
convincing
what that laugh means. He just laughed. Let's go with first pitch.
It is immaculate endings.
Crap.
Man, I would have thought that was dead
Oh,
last.
me too. 3 Ks on 9 pitches.
3 Ks on 9
My
pitches.
gosh.
106 times that's happened in Major League history.
106
Now, again, we're talking about these last couple, less than 1 per year, right? I mean, on average. Four
Thinking
strikeouts
about
is
that,
immaculate.
I was the official scorer for the minors, West Virginia Miners for 6 years.
Yeah.
And in 6 years, I can remember that happening one time where they struck out 3 up, 3 down on 9 pitches.
Right.
It only happened once. Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course, they sucked. I mean, the good pitchers couldn't catch up. They were good one year. So, but yeah, it only happened one time that I can remember. That's pretty awesome. 3 Ks and 9 pitches. You would have thought that would happen more, wouldn't you?
You'd think so. Yeah.
How many?
Yeah.
Would you say 106 times?
106 times.
And what's the year again? You said that these stats go back to 18.
Like 1876, I think.
Wow.
Yeah.
God,
Wow.
yes. Wow.
Yeah.
150 years. Okay.
Right.
All right.
Yep.
So now we're at number 7.
7.
Yeah.
So we got first
Yes.
pitch home runs, and
Still
Still
second.
second,
say-
third, and home.
I think I'll go with first pitch home runs.
So do I got to go with second, third, and home?
I've picked it the last 4 times. So
Second, third, and home.
yeah, you go with that one.
All right. It is stealing second, third.
My God.
Yes.
Yeah.
Gee,
That's
man.
right. That's right.
That has happened 48 times.
40.
And
I've never seen that.
I've never seen that.
I haven't either. I've never
And
seen that.
Again, that's probably one of the things that happened a long time ago.
Yeah. Yeah.
When,
Yeah.
when stealing bases were more common.
Right.
It's really hard to steal a base. In fact, they're talking about moving the pitcher's mound back. Part of the reason is to get more players to try to steal. Gives them that little extra fraction of a second. But yeah, stealing second, third, and home has happened 48 times. hitting a home run on your very first pitch has happened 31 times
Gosh.
in the major leagues. And again, this is one that's actually a little bit more recent. But a lot more of them, probably half of those has happened in the last 25 years.
Well, I picked that one because I saw a guy the other night. I was watching. I was looking at TikTok or something, and he was his first at bat in the major leagues. He played for the Orioles, and he hit a home run. And I thought, it's got to be on here.
There you go. 31 times.
I saw that the other day. But like stealing home, you rarely see that now. Used to be you saw that pretty frequently. I mean, not frequently, but you saw it. Now you don't see that very often. In fact, you don't see anybody steal third very often.
Yeah, that's right. And so. Yeah, it's one of those things. Again, I think it's more reflective of how the game's changed over the years. You say, I mean, I remember growing up. You remember what was his name? Henderson.
Yeah, Ricky Henderson.
Ricky Henderson.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, the dude stole base all the time. It was almost like an automatic double.
Right.
When he got on base.
And as old as we are, we also remember Lou Brock stealing those bases.
Brock, absolutely.
Yeah, he stole base all the time.
Yeah.
But you don't, like I said, you don't see it anymore. Yeah. Don't see it much anymore.
And you just don't see it. And I bet you the stolen base record is way down. And part of the reason, too, is, again, people try to hit all home runs. They don't want to take a bat out of the batter's hands.
Yeah. I was just getting ready to say you don't have as many people on first base as you used to.
Yeah, that's right.
They all hit home runs or strikeouts,
Or strikeouts. That's exactly right. One other tidbit I wanted to leave you, because I'm like I said, I'm really hung up on some of these really interesting statistics, but I found one other really rare event which I thought was very interesting, and that is there's only been one time in history in which the shortstop of a team never touched the ball in play in an entire doubleheader. Isn't that an odd statistic, right?
It is odd.
So they never had a ground ball, never had a fly ball, never turned a double play. They never had, and that was Toby Hara for the Texas Rangers. You remember Toby?
Oh, I sure do remember Toby Hara. Wasn't he from West Virginia? No, it was Dennis Hara.
Yeah. When I growing up, we had Roger Hara that was a local athlete.
Yeah. I forgot about him. I think Toby Hara might have been from West Virginia. I'll check that.
Yeah, he might, because I'd heard, and I don't know if it's right or not, maybe just people making stuff up, that he was somehow related to the Haras and Anstead, but I don't know if that's true or not. But yeah, so imagine that. I mean,
that is crazy.
Never touching a ball for 2 straight games in one day. I mean, that's just amazing to me.
Man, I bet he was bored.
Yeah.
Baseball can be kind of boring anyway when you're standing there all 2 games and never get a ball hit to you. Man, might as well put him in right field.
That's right. And now with the way the hitting is going and everything, there's a lot of fly balls. There are a lot of home runs.
Right.
Although there aren't, because they keep messing with the ball. In fact, I read 2 more articles today about how Major League Baseball is screwing up the game because they keep messing with the ball. And these studies show that that balls that used to be home runs that were at this particular excellent velocity are now just fly ball outs. They're routine out.
Toby Hara was born in Sissonville, West Virginia.
There you go.
Yep.
How about that?
Third baseman, shortstop, spent most of his career with Texas.
Yeah.
And never got a ball hit to him in 2 games in a row.
That's crazy.
All right. That was pretty awesome. That's good stuff, man. Me and Gilbert sit here and argue about these stats here just a little bit. We wrote all this down, so that'll be good stuff for us to talk about.
All right.
How's things in Maui?
They are going very well. And our daughter and son-in-law visited us last week.
Awesome.
We had a blast. And so what I want to do is leave you with one more limerick.
All right. Sounds good.
Based on our experiences here.
All right.
Because, Dave, while I did use frequent flyer miles to bring my brothers out here, I did not take them to eat dinner at this place that I'm getting ready to talk about.
I'll tell you about that after the show.
Yeah. So here we go. We never really had a clue until the final check came due. We thought we had a winner booking Mama's Fish House for dinner. but $700. Oh, mama, how could you?
Wow.
Woo! Yikes!
Yeah, for 4 people.
Oh my
The
God!
dinner
Wow.
bill was $700.
Oh my
Yeah.
goodness! Woo! Yeah, that's right. And
Yeah,
so, wow.
I will not be taking you guys there.
No,
okay?
no way, no way. We'll stick to our sushi bars. Got a nice picture of that sushi bar the other day. Brought back some memories. Nice memories. When y'all coming back?
We are coming back a week from today. Right?
Okay.
Well, 1 more week, so we'll be leaving. So, yeah, let me know about next week's show because
Yep. We'll figure it
you
out.
know, we'll be checking out of here early that day, but I should be around during the day. I just need to know so we can find a place to stop.
All right. Well, there may be a possibility we may be doing it on Wednesday. We don't know yet. Got some things to work out yet. So we have Owen
right.
Smith supposed to be coming live in studio, so you get to talk to him personally. So
Awesome.
hopefully we can get that worked out.
All right, sounds great.
I appreciate you, Andy.
Take care, man.
All right, buddy. Love you. Y'all be careful.
All right.
All right. House call with Dr. Crist. Interesting as always, Gorb. Mm-hmm. And I just now happened to look at the time. It's 15 after 10.
Wow.
It's been a long night, hasn't it?
Yeah.
So I think we need probably to go ahead and sign off now since we've run through our panel of guests, and it's been a lot of fun as always. Mm-hmm. And, I wanted to say in light of some of the things that's going on this week, Gorb, I know we don't have a big platform, but we do have a platform, and not to be political or anything, but after what happened this week, something's got to be done. Something has to change in this country, and I don't know what
crazy.
it's awful.
Crazy to think.
And I don't know what the answer is, but we got to do something. Something's got to get better. Something's got to change. Our leaders have to act, and I'm not getting political or anything like that, but there's no reason that something can't be done. It doesn't have to be take everybody's guns. It don't have to be certain laws, rules, gun control, anything like that. But something has to be done because our babies are getting slaughtered by these assault rifles, and it's awful. So anyway, want to end up the show on that low note, and we appreciate you watching again as always here on Courtside with Coach Crist. That's Dave Gorby. I'm Greg Crist. Darren sitting over there. We appreciate everybody for hanging with us tonight through our trials and tribulations, and we look forward to coming to you again next week. So we appreciate you watching Courtside. We will talk to you soon. Good night, everybody.